Hey, what's up? It's Donnie Durant, and today I'm working on my own hair. I'm going to be doing my own DIY Manweave or hair replacement unit. Depends on how you want to freak it, what you want to call it. But what we're going to call it is that I got some hair at the end of this video. That's what we're going to be doing today. So you'll see me go from this with that big old, look at that. Whoa. Where's that? Where's that? We're going to go from that to actually having some hair at least for a week. So tune in and I'll show you some of the things that I'm using. I'll show you what I did and hopefully it'll come out looking pretty litty. Alright, jumping right into this project, you're going to need all your supplies. I have my kinky twist hair in the color of 1B, my applicator brush, my mirror, my tape, my clippers, scalp protectant, glue. You're going to need a bunch of things. Also, a scissors to cut the hair. You want all this stuff so you can kind of have a seamless look to your unit. First things first, you want to make sure you get your hairline straight. This is probably the most important thing because nobody wants no lopsided hairline. Like, what's the point of doing this if you're going to have a lopsided hairline? Like, we're trying to draw on the hair. We want to draw it on and glue it on the right way. So you want to make sure you have a decent hairline that goes across your scalp. You know, the best way to do this is to scrunch up your forehead, and where the muscles aren't, you want to start drawing your hairline above that. Because nobody has a hairline all the way down to their eyebrows. This is one of the hardest parts. That's why you see me going back and forth. We're trying to make sure it's done right. Because once you put the glue there and it dries, that's where the hair is going to stay. So you want to make sure that your hairline is drawn properly because you want the glue in the hair to go in the right area. So I had to call him Bae because Bae needed to tell me like what was going on. Where was the hairline looking at? Like what the tea was with the hairline. Like you need a decent hairline. Nobody was trying to look dumb. I ain't trying to look dumb with no hairline. You see me check in and check in and check in and check in to make sure it's looking pretty legitimate. Look, we want legitimate hairlines. Don't nobody want no fraudulent hairline. You know, it's already too much that we're doing all of this foolishness to get some hair. You don't want it looking too fraudulent. So we're going back and forth about where my hairline should be, and we didn't come to an agreement, and I ended up drawing my own hairline anyway. He was trying to bring my hairline all the way down to my neck. Like, what kind of hairline is all the way down there? Nobody got time for that. Now it's time to cut the hair down. You want to cut down all the hair where you will be putting the glue. A smooth, clean surface is the best for when you're laying the glue. So you see here that I'm just trying to cut down the hair, and I like to bring it down to the temple area because naturally that's just kind of how, like when you do a fade, that's where you start fading from. So everything in my little circle will be the wave hair, and everything else is going to get tapered and cleaned up. So you just want to keep cleaning it and making sure it's nice and smooth, like smooth like a baby's booty. Like you want to get that smooth and thing. And make sure it's even, like an even circle or even square, however your head is shaped. Make sure it's even on both sides and the back. And I got my alcohol. You want to use the alcohol to clean off the surface. You know, that glue is not going to stick properly if it's a dirty, oily section. So you want to use that alcohol to clean that scalp as best as possible. Alcohol will also be what you use to remove it, but that'll be in another video at some point. Brushing off the cotton, again, just making sure it's good. Now it's time for the tape. Now usually people use electrical tape, and they use electrical tape because it doesn't leave a residue on your skin. So when you use this kind of white tape or scotch tape or tape that's outside of electrical tape, it leaves a lot of residue, like sticky residue on your skin. And when you're doing your hair, sometimes that hair will get stuck to it, but it's really easy to come off. And I couldn't find my electrical tape, so I was like, might as well just use what I have. Sometimes you gotta use what you got to get what you want. So I'm using this white tape because it's all I have, and like I said, electrical tape is the best because it doesn't leave that residue on your skin. But look, sometimes you gotta just use what you got. So you see me spraying my scalp protectant. That's allegedly supposed to protect my scalp from the glue. It's made by the same company as the glue, which is Walker, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just doing a little light mist to that little clean bean that you see there. Look at that head. I'm looking like a Swedish meatball, like legitimately a Swedish meatball. I cannot. So now I got my glue, and I want to start putting that evenly on my head. Spreading it down on my head. When you use the applicator brush, most people have the regular applicator brush, but I like the plastic one because you can reuse it over and over. The other ones with the bristles, you have to do too much cleaning to get that brush clean. So I like the pink applicator brush. They come in different colors. I bought mine for like maybe $4, I think, or maybe $2 from the beauty supply store. So it's super convenient, and again, you can reuse this brush because all you gotta do is just kind of rinse it with warm water and soap to get all the glue and gunk off of it. So that's the applicator brush that I use. So I put some section in the front, and I'm trying to let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to put some in the back. You want to bring it down over the tape because that's where the line will be. That's where your shape up or your tape up, or however you call it, because up in New York we call it shape ups. I know in Chicago they call it line ups or some kind of foolishness, I don't know. But you want to put it in the front. Some people do the front section, and then some people do the back. I did it on both, the front and the back. And you want to do like 2 layers of this glue. Some people do 2, 3. I think I only did 1 for this application. So I took my tape off, and I'm removing any extra glue with my little blade, getting the glue off where I don't want hair to be. I'm gonna cut the hair, and now it's the fun part, laying that hair on. Like, what's good? Put this hair on. I started in the middle, and I'm laying it flat, spreading it out just a little bit, and I'm laying it flat. Now, if you don't want any spaces in between this, you don't want any spaces. You don't want any spaces in between your hair. So you want to lay these pieces as close to each other as possible. You want to lay them as close to each other as possible so you don't have any gapping. Make sure you spread the hair so that way you can fill in all the sections of your hair. So finally, I'm putting on the last piece of hair, and then you want to get ready for the next few steps, which would be to let it dry completely. You can use a cool blow dryer. I'm gonna have some time, so I just used the do-rag. You want to pat it down. You want to lay hair on every section of the glue. Yeah, you gotta cut off that little piece of bang, child. Cut off the bang, cut off that back. Then you want to lay your do-rag on so it presses the hair down and you let it dry. You know, I tie my do-rag like a regular Bronx dude. That little knot in the back. Let's go. What's good? BX stand up. All day, every day, New York City. We out here. What's good? All right, so now the glue is dry and the hair is on. And now it's time to cut your hair. Now this really only works for people who know how to cut their hair. If you don't know how to cut your hair, then this part might be a little bit difficult for you. This whole process is gonna be difficult, child. If you don't know how to cut your hair, you're wasting your time. There's a ton of tutorials how to do tape ups and fades and all that all over YouTube. So you're not gonna see me cut all of my hair, but you'll see me cut this down on video. So you want to keep cutting it. Start slow. You don't want to get it too low. You want to get it even. I like my units a little low, so I'm probably going to get down super close to my scalp. People call this a scalp exposure unit. You want to take your time. Do not rush this process because you don't want to cut down too low. You can put it on, and if you do cut it low, you can put a little bit more glue and add some more hair on top. But just get it right the first time. Just take your time. Don't rush it. Things got serious. I had to take them glasses off, okay? About to transform. From Steve Urkel to Stefan, all right? Let's go. Looking crazy. So you want to cut it down to your desired length. Again, taking your time. It's so crazy how a little hair can change how you look. It totally brings youth back to your face. You just look like a younger you. So you'll see me just keep cutting it down until I get my desired length. And then I'm going to go into my haircut so you can see the final result, which looks like this. Literally turns back the hands of time to go from I used to look like that and now I look like this in 2019 with some hair. So yeah, there we go. If you like this video, make sure you stick around. I have so many other tutorials to post. Subscribe, turn on that notification because Donnie Do Right is coming back in 2019. Like my hairline, Donnie is back. Okay?